So welcome to BunnyDesigns. This is a live show, live Thursdays. It's recorded for Ustream.tv and also for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm working with my new babies, my Chameleon blendable pens. So I have them on the stand here, and then I have my toppers. Oopsie. I have my toppers here. So they're all kind of quite handy. So this is a first practice. So I'll zoom in and we'll see what happens. Come up a little bit. So this is my practice page. So I've had the deep violet and I've put some blending solution over the top. And then I put some more, then I've put the dusty pink. And then I put some more blending solution. And then I'm going to pick a petal and I'm going to see what happens. So we've got pale to pink. So we've got that dusty pink coming out. And then it's going quite dark now. And it should go pale, really. It should now go pale and go to purple, but I've probably blended it too much. So what happens next is it should go pale. And then it's going to purple. So if that was quite a large area, we'd have gone from pale pink to medium pink purple to dark purple. So let me just see if I can get back to my original colour. I always scratch a little bit of paper. So I'm going to do this one. This time I'm not going to put pale on, I'm just going to go from violet, deep violet number 4, and I'm going to put PK2 dusty pink on, and you just want to make them kiss, just kiss, and then I'm just going to fuse that for a few seconds. Oh, thank you guys, thank you. So I haven't put much on, so, but I think I am going to go with the blending solution. So we have purple, then we have dusty pink, and then we've got some blending solution. And you can build the colours up to layers. So let's pick this large petal here and see what happens. So we've got our pale pink, and then we're going into it, and you can't stop, so you've got to be kind of comfortable. We've got our dusty pink, which is then going to deep purple. So you could do a bit of a practice page so that you know about counting. So we've gone from pale to pink to purple, and then all you have to think about is that we have all these topper colours can be mixed with the 50 original colours. So there's thousands of combinations. So that was quite pretty, that one. That was my purple. And this is my practice page. I like practicing on flowers because they look kind of okay. So one thing we can't do, I seem to have done it already. So we need to put our top back onto our dusty pink, and we need to put the top, sorry, I can't see, the top to there. And what I do, because my hands are pulley, is I get the top and I get them where they want to go, and then I just use the heel of my hand and push them together. So even if you have really bad arthritis, you can still play with these. So I'll pop that one back and we'll look at grass green, and we'll look at cornflower blue. You know what? I'm going to do turquoise. I'm going to do aquamarine, which is a green blue, and then I want a blue green. So do you remember when I talk about my colours, I always talk about blue greens and green blues. So the blue green is on the colour wheel. Blue would be here, then we have a blue green, and then we have a green blue, and then we have a green blue. They call them blue greens, but then I would go for green blues because they're more greener to green. So these should be quite nice blended. So again, we want our brush end. Now I do tend to push mine around the other side because I like the top of my bullet at one side. So just put the pink away a second. So we'll take the top of our BG3 turquoise and we're going to put it on the top of BG4. So there's not going to be much of a blend, but we should get a nice blend. So you can do complete opposites, or you can do things that are really good and quite vibrant. And again, practicing with petals is quite good. So we'll test that. And then I'm going to use the blending chamber from the BG. So they just kiss. Oh, bye V, thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a pleasant day. So again, I always do just a bit of a test. So we've got practically nothing on there now. So I'm going to do this one here. And it has a bit of colour on it already, but I do this one. So we're going to start with the pale, practically nothing, and this is my first play, so I'm out of practice with the pens, and I've not played with the toppers before, and there's one or two dirty marks on this because, so that looks like the blue, and then we're going into the green, the darker green, until we get to our original green colour, which was dark green. So you have a really nice blend. There wasn't a lot of blue in that one, so I'm going to do a darker blue. So I'll put the top on that one and pop it away. Sky blue. So I'm going to put the sky blue on top of I'm going to use that big fat one there because it's going to get a good colour scheme. So you hold it upright for a little bit and then just touch, and that's now blue. So what we can do is start with that blue, and you will adjust the colour blending to what kind of image you're trying to get. So if you wanted a longer blend, or kind of more green, then you would adjust the timings. trick is to keep going. So we've gone from a pale blue to the green. So let's be a bit more dramatic. And we'll go BV4 violet blue. So we're going to put a violet blue just kissing on top. Now full of coffee. And test. And that looks kind of blue to me, so I'll do this one here. Sorry about the movement. You have to be comfortable for this. You have to be able to turn your pages. So we've got this gorgeous blue, and you can get an arc going, a curve. Your leaf will look curled. Now, I'll probably drain that for... I probably used too much on that one. So I'm just going to carry on and pretend that it was a huge leaf. And you want to catch on the backward slope, you want to catch, stroke, you want to catch just the very tip of what you've just done. So we've gone from dark blue, turquoisey blue, back to green, and now it's gone back to green. So it was that colour and now it's that colour. So if you were doing a dress, so I found the colour for this Gothic dress that would look quite dramatic, or that would look quite nice on a dragon, going from that blue to that. So let's try a purple. So I'll put that one back. Oops, that was not a good idea. So that's the blue topper to put away. So let me just have a quick look at chat, because Melody suggested a really good mix, and I've forgotten what she said. Whoopsie, too much. Oh, sorry, I've missed. Sorry, Mac, I've missed your questions. Sorry, darling. They're really easy to use, and I used them about a year ago. There's a couple of early videos when I used them, and then my daughter took them to uni because she's doing design, and she's doing graphic design, and sorry, she was doing graphic design for 2 years, and then she's doing her degree in illustration and animation, and she has a set of 22. I'll pan out a second. She has a set of 22, and the reason I got that set, it was before this set, is that I wanted to have her play as well, but what she can do is she can just flip the lid and put it in her bag, and it's half this size, and she can take 220 colours to college with her every day to uni. Whereas if you had to, for markers, because they're very good for illustration and graphics and animation, for doing storyboards, and that's why she has them. So she took them to uni, and I haven't played with them for a year, but it didn't take long to get back into it. She was lucky she'd not used other things before. She'd not used markers, so she took to them really well. You just have to remember. But the beautiful thing is you're taking one pen top off. So as I say, if you have arthritis, they are fantastic for colouring. And you're only taking one top off, and you can do a whole page if you're doing a monochrome, you can, or 2 or 3 colours, you can do the whole page. And you've only taken the top off 2 or 3 pens, whereas to get all the different grades and tones, you'd have to take off and blend lots and lots of times. So I can't do that. So bear with me 2 seconds. So I'm sorry, Melody, I've lost. Oh, bye, Mac. Thank you for stopping by. I'm not very good at looking at chat, especially with my new babies. My wonderful babies. Just trying to find the colours we were talking about, pink and purple, didn't you, Melody? So we were talking about the grape, and we were talking about the pink. Peony, is it peony pink? Peony pink. So we'll try this pink and purple. Oh, pink and blue sounds good as well. So we'll do pink and purple. So we've got number 4, grape purple. So I need the brush tip end. And I'm not going to put any blending solution in this time. I'm just going to go from pink to purple. So again, just touching. So we've got the pink and the purple. And we'll fuse that for a few minutes. I think I'm doing it for too long. I think that's why you have to count. So again, test. We've now got pink. So this is purple grape, but it's pink. So that was quite a good fast fuse. So I'll try another. I'll zoom in a second, but you can see it from afar. So we've got this pink colour here, and it's just starting to go to a deeper pink. And the idea is to catch just the bottom side of the backward stroke, so you're overlapping just a titchy bit. And so this is going to look really spectacular. And then now we've got dark, we can just go in there. We're now back to our original purple colour. So that's what happens. You get a wonderful blend from one colour to another. So we can put the top on that one. And we could use a bright green. So we've gently put them into the kiss, and we can lift up. So I do, again, I think that would be nice for her dress in the Gothic. So we found the colour we want. So this one is purple grape, but purple grape is now green. So, and they're very strong, so I'm not quite used to them yet, but I'm going to go over this one. So I'll zoom in just a second, and you can see how easy it is to just see what happens. So I'm going to move that to there. Oh, I think I moved my camera, sorry. I must have moved my camera. So we've got green, really rich green, dark green. So we've got this really dark colour now. And now we've gone back to our purple grape. So you can get some really, really unusual tones. So we'll put the green one back. So I do like that purple and pink mix. I think that looked quite nice, that one. And we said that one was pink peony, didn't we? So we've got pink peony. So I've got the dress that I want to do on my Gothic girl. I now need to try the hair. So I can use this as wispy hair, this particular bit here. So there's a burnt umber, but I do like the bark. Let me just have a quick test. That's quite a nice dark brown. And then we would like a highlight. There is a caramel colour. Let's have a look at this. Well, quite like that. So we can pick our taupe colour, might be nice. Maybe I don't have the caramel. NU4. Oh, I do. NU4. So let's see what this looks like. So this is to give highlights. Oopsie. So I've got that top on there. So I'll put that on the bullet end. I might use the bullet end actually, I think. So I've got NU4 topper onto BR5. And again, gently, some are bigger than others, so just gently kiss. And then we'll do that, blend this for about 6 seconds. So, and straight away that's pale. So I will do it on a flower because we can see it better. So the caramel will come out first. And sometimes you can't believe how strong they are. So now it's going darker and darker until we're back to our dark colour. So I thought that would be quite nice for a highlight for hair. Just bear with me a second. I think Bunbury, you're going to have time out. Come on. Thank you. Time out. Just spoiled Bumble's fun. He's not happy with me. Right. So let's try it again. So I need a bit of a practice. So that's the dark brown. So we'll try 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Goodness gracious, that's wonderful. So really, even 1, 2. So even 2 seconds is quite good. So they are a lot stronger than I thought they were. So we've got some pretty cool across the top now. That's it. Right. So we've got, looking back at our oh, hi Piccola, welcome to BunnyDesigns. So let's look at our page and our lady. And that wasn't our lady. This was our young lady. And there's some quite small spaces here. So I may zoom out a little bit for you because I think we could struggle with this a little bit. So these are single-sided, even though it's in a book. Whoopsie. So we've got this young lady, so I need to do her hair first. And it's quite tiny as this. So we could do quite a few different tones, I think. The forest wants to be kind of dark. So we've got some dark cold greys. We've got some deer here, but there's candles that give out a warm glow. But I need to do her hair first. I think that might be a bit too complicated. Not complicated, but it's too small. That's probably what... It's a little bit small. This might be good to start. It's a face, so I can practice in here. And this book is Gothic Special colouring book, and I have two of them. So the dresses are quite nice because I think the flowing dresses will look quite nice. Oh, bungle! We have a bungle! And of course we've got the nice browns, that'll be good for that one. So what was the first one? Perhaps I should use my new rule, which is to start at the beginning of the page. So I think I'll do this first one. So we do have a baby blue, which is very, very pale. So I could practice this technique on there, and also on the dress as well, the pink and the purple. And then we could have a green and blue dragon. So that might look quite nice as well. The dragon I did yesterday, this was my practice yesterday, Tuesday. So I haven't had them for a year, and this was my first practice. So you can see I was trying to get the timings right for bigger spaces and smaller spaces. And then this is the one we did today, so there is a video on this one. And last night, now I do like just using the colour tone pen with its blending solution, but I've had a bit of a play with these colours. I think these are quite dramatic as well, the green and purple and the blue. See, that would look nice for the dragon, so I think we've got the blue. It was the grass green, and I think it was blue violet I used. I think it was blue violet. So that's given me the dragon, the dress, and the hair. So sometimes it's quite a good idea to work certain things out. So I think I'm going to start with her hair. So I'm going to take BR5 bark, and I'm going to take NU4 caramel, and that's the topper. So I've got all my pens lined up, and one arrived this morning. So tomorrow there'll be another one, and I'll have the full set of the toppers and my full set of 50 pens, which dear Melody sent me an Amazon voucher for these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous things. So thank you, Melody, with all my heart. These are so gorgeous. And as I say, I lost mine when my daughter took them to uni. So I shed a little tear. She did say, do you want them back? And I said, no, she needs them, because very good for art students, really good, because you're carrying just a box, but you've got 500 colours here. She has the 20 set, so she's got 200 shades and tones, and all she's carrying around with her is an A4 box, which goes, she could take to college every day. So if you're at uni, carrying lots of boxes about is not normally an option. So I was just looking for our little vampire. My goodness me, boys. That's the bunnies. Apologies for the noise. I share my room with a zoo. So I'm going to play with the hair. There's no real suggestion where light comes from, but you can normally want it to come from right to left. So all the highlights will be on this side, and this side will be in low lights, or you could do it the other way. I kind of like that idea, because this piece of the dragon here will be in light. The light will catch the top of her arm, her shoulder, and her hair. So we'll play with the hair first, and then we'll have a play with skin tones as well. So I did a couple of videos last year with these, but as I say, last year she went to uni, so they disappeared, and she's been using them. And because she hasn't used ordinary markers, she really came to these very quickly. I think if you're used to a traditional way of working, you have to rethink everything. They're not difficult at all, but you just have to rethink everything. So I'll zoom in, and I've changed the position of the camera. I just need my little piece of paper here. So I'm not going to use the blending solution in the chamber. I think I'm going to go straight from caramel as a highlighter, straight to the dark tone. So they want to just push together so they kiss. Now sometimes they're pushed on well and sometimes they're not. And I'm going to count to 2. 1, 2, because these are very strong. So if we look now, our caramel is very strong. So if I'm doing a small area, I don't want to count too many times. So I'm going to start here and work up. So again, I'm just going to put this on and count 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to work from the lightest bit. I'm just going to play with the camera a bit, sorry about this. But you have to be comfortable when you do this, because your wrist has to be in a very good position, because you've got to have a nice natural flow, and you can't stop once you start. So I want that highlight to be here. So I think I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to put another highlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this time I'm going to start here. And I'm going to take it right back to its natural colour. So this time I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to take that one now and you can work up and down, side to side. It doesn't really matter. And I still have the pale on there, so I'm just going to take that down. And 1, 2, 3. So again, just test that you've got the right colour. Now I want that a bit paler, so slightly paler. So I want to go down there, let this avenue here, and then take that curl to be dark. That curl will be dark, and this will be dark. I might introduce another colour yet. Quite decided. Now this has gone straight through my page because I knew it would. But in between I have a double-sided piece of card. Now it is bleeding a little bit, so maybe I can't mess about too much. You have to be a bit faster, perhaps, working a little bit faster on the page. So kind of this kind of fastness. I think I could have done a paler colour. I think I could have gone with a bit paler colour. But I can take that down to there. And so you can learn that if you want a darker colour, you can go into different areas. Now I might just change to the bullet end, I think. I might just change to the bullet end because it's for smaller details. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has gone pale again now. So again, you can use little circular motions. And then you can start to put a little bit of difference. Now, I don't think I like the colour, but I've started it now. So I'm going to carry on. And I'm sure it'll look okay. It's just, I would have changed probably a slightly different colour. So again, you want to be fairly comfortable. And I'm not, but let's just have a look. So we've got a highlight here. So let's take that highlight up. And then count again. Now I've never used the toppers before. They came yesterday, so I just had a bit of a play. I always use your little marker. And we seem to have got a bit of a pale thing going on here. But if you keep going over, eventually the original colour you had will come through. And I think I might just want some dark in there. So the toppers make everything a lot easier to do. Sorry guys, I can't see chat at the moment. I'm going to be really naughty and turn the page back so it's easy for me to use. Has anybody got any questions? So again, it's pale here, just going down, following that down to there. And because I'd done it for a long time, because I was talking, that's given me quite a natural. And take that down to brown. Now I'm going to go back in there with a darker colour, but I'm just going to put the topper back on, and you just want them so they're kissing. So again, take that down there and take that one down there. And then we had the light coming down, so we're going to have a very pale one here. But again, need to be a bit more comfortable. You've got to be comfortable when you're moving in this direction. So start here. And it's going to get slowly darker and darker and darker. So where you want more highlight, you do more of the topper, and where you want less, you do less. Sorry guys, just have to move that about. That's better. So we've still got a little bit of pale there. So we can take that to the darkest and that one to the darkest as well. So I need another highlight down here. So again, put that on the top. So I've got NU4 on BR5. And I was very surprised. That was my tester. So I was really surprised of how quick they kind of take. So now that becomes part of the dress, and so does that one. You can see the dress behind. So it's just a matter, instead of picking up another pen and blending it, you just put in the topper back on. A little test, and then that will take that one down there, and it will take that one down there. And now we can work backwards. So we've gone light to dark, and now we can go light to dark. Oops, sorry, we can go light to dark, now we can go light to dark, and we should have a seamless blend. So it's not brilliant, the hair, but it's that must be I think that's an earring. Or is it a curl? No, I think it's a curl because she doesn't have an earring. So that could be quite a pale curl. So again, pop that on there. And this is when you start to think about highlights hitting the same space. I should have had a paler highlight on there really, but this is just a practice. So again, the highlight is here. I want to go pale, darker, darker, darker. And I did get a bit carried away, so you'll probably find it doesn't get darker till I get to the top. And then we can put some little dark tones in there. And I'm going to do this really pale. But you can do hair purple, you can do the hair whatever colour you want. So actually I'm going to take that back up so that when it gets to here it's going to be the right colour. So we have a tiny little highlight on the end. So there's another little hair there, but this will be dark because it's under her chin. Put the topper on and count a bit longer. Turn her over and then do this curl. And then I'm going to turn her back round. Sorry guys, it's just difficult to do that. Test. And I think I want it from here. So by the time I get to here, it's the same colour. So you can blend backwards and forwards and forwards and backwards, and you get your seamless blend all the way through. Little touch to make sure we're right, pale, and I think I'm going to do these two together. And then that will be dark. That will be dark. And this one will be dark. I've got another highlight on the top. And you just keep following the hair around. So you can do little circular motions if you want. That's going to be dark. Now you could leave that on its own, but I think I'm going to make that into highlight. So I do have some left on here now because I only got to that tone there. So I can play, I don't know where her neck's gone, but I can now play under here. But I'm going to do this highlight, so I'm going to do it all pale. So it's probably a good job to have a bit of a play. And now I'm going to turn that round and put the highlight down. And it should match that one, which it does. So highlight to dark and highlight to dark backwards. So again, we can take that highlight. Sorry about the light. It's quite a bright day in the UK, so we've got a bit of sunshine. And then we turn the pen upside down for a couple of seconds. And then that will take that one down. And eventually you'll get where you can remember where you are. And we want that dark. And that dark. So we'll take all the highlight on the top next. It wants to be kind of all pale, that. And we're getting darker now, so we can go in these little areas of shadow or low light, whatever you want to call it. and keep counting. So I'll just do this bit of hair and then I'm going to do a face. So we can practice with all these gorgeous face colours we have. So when you turn her round, you can see where the light's coming from. So again, that needs to be light. And this needs to be light. But I'm not going to take it too dark, because it's going to be quite light there. So what I should do really is take that back down. Almost made it perfect. And a smaller space requires a short amount of time. So this is one colour to another, and then you could take that down to there. So she's got some quite nice hair there. It might be a bit boring to watch too much, so we'll put the topper pot onto there. Oops. And again, what I would do if I hadn't done all the hair, I would take a photograph of those two colours on the camera, especially these days when we can take lots, and you know that these two, if you're going to come back to this, you know what they are. I'm going to do a face next. I think that was Bungle, because Bungle came out and sat. He's fast asleep now, is our Bungle. So when we look on the pens, we've got quite a lot. So I just haven't quite got my camera angle right. Sorry about that, guys. So I think I'm going to do a shoulder. Now we've got NU00, we've got Sand, Bisque, Light Peach and Fawn. So let's have a very quick look at testing. So I kind of like that colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use the tone, I'm going to use the blending solution, I think. So count to 10. Sorry, not count to 10, count to about 5. So that's completely pale. I'm going to turn that over. And this is where I go under there. So when we turn that over, she has a highlight on her shoulder. And I'm going to work backwards up to her neck. She can't have a highlight on that shoulder because it's under the hair. So again, you've got to be in a comfortable position. Now that won't look right until we've got her dress on, and then the highlight on the bits that are protruding out will look quite wonderful. So I'm just going to continue with the hair a little bit longer. So I'm going to use the bullet tip. I'm going to get some darks in there. And again, once you get the darks in, I thought that was her neck. I think that is her neck, actually. So I'm just going to take the bullet end or the brush end and just go in there very carefully. So she has a bit of a neck. So we want the brush end. I'll go to the brush end this time because I've got a bigger space. Oh, thank you, Kingo, thank you. So again, we're using NU4 Caramel onto NBR5 Bark. And it's not easy working backwards. But once you stop, you're in. And then what I'm going to do is actually work backwards. So work back up to that brown. Her hair is so thick that that would be a highlight and a low light. So again, put the bullet, the brush tip back in. We need to be, sorry, we need to be. Oh, hi Camille, welcome to BunnyDesigns. Anybody else popping in? Gonna turn that over and just follow that line down to there, and then I'm going to fill that bit in there, and then this bit here. Follow that down. I think I'm going to go back to the bullet tip. We have a little bit more control. So again, turn it upside down. And this particular strand of hair I like to keep fairly light. So when it's getting darker now, here, I'm going to pop it back to cook for a little bit longer, shall we say. So these colour tips change the original marker colour. And we still got some dark in there, but it's not as dark as it should be. And then we're getting darker and darker. So again, we can put that on there. So this is going to be another highlight, this one. And follow it right round. And it does actually get quite dark. Put the lid on again. Always test first, and then I want to bring that one pale down. And then when this gets down to here, it's going to be quite dark. And that's all you have to do, is just have a practice. Once you've done one, things will get a little bit easier. And it's very, very quick to learn. So now I want dark in that one. So this is just the normal colour of the marker, so I'm using it. And I think I want all that kind of dark too. So I think I got this book from W.H. Smith's. I think here in the UK. So because this side's not going to be as much in highlight, I want to make it quite dark. I just want a few highlights. So that will go to a highlight. So they're really easy to use, and again, tight Yorkshire lace. You get spare nibs and you can refill them with inks. And I like that. I like that a lot. Really do like the fact that you can, they are refillable. The nibs are replaceable. So has anybody got any questions? So I'm going to put that curl, and I want it to be under that one. And this one, you don't get as good a thing if you can't twist round, so I'm going to have to turn around so you can get, you've got to have a nice easy curl. Just test it a bit, and then I'm going to take that one back up there to the dark. So we can have some quite nice highlights at the top, but most of this is going to be dark. So I'll have that highlight on that one. And then that one will be darker. And I think we can do that one lighter and that one darker. Apologies for the noise. The bunnies are having a moment. And so obviously the furthest away is going to be the palest. The colour is not what I would normally pick, but actually it's worked quite well. So sometimes it's quite nice to do unusual things that you wouldn't normally do. And again, apologies for the angle, but you have to be comfortable. And it's just turning to that dark. I'll have that one to be dark. And if you do want too light, you can always go back in. Yes, I'll go over that for you. Just 2 seconds. So again, I'm going to put that one over there. A bit of dark in there. That's got to be dark. So I'll pan out a little bit. So I've got my BR bark, and I've got the bullet. I've got the bullet end this time, and then the topper, the little short topper, which looks identical to the blending chamber, but it has the colour on it. And we're doing the same thing. We push them together till they kiss. And then we turn them upside down, and they work very quick, so a couple of seconds. And then I always do a test. So my dark brown has now gone light, and then I can do that. Now this is getting slightly darker, but not too dark. So I can go into here. And that should get darker as it goes up. Put the topper back on, count for a couple of seconds, make sure it's touching, count for a couple of seconds. Oh! And this is how I did Hermione's hair. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Very similar, but I used the blending solution. And then that one's to be slightly darker. So if I turn her round, hopefully you can see all those colours. So I'm going to work my way down here, I think, and then I'll do the dress, because if I don't, I'll forget how I made this. So again, the pen and the little topper, which is NU Caramel, and that one is NU4. Sorry, that's the bottom one. The bottom is BR5, which is bark. So that was quite a long hold with that, so that's going to give me a big long highlight. So I can take this one here, take this round. You can see it's getting darker and darker. So when it's very dark, you can stop